Welcome to our 2024 Chaparral 334 FL. Starting right in the back center here, you get your short cord inlet. So as you pop this cap open, you're going to find a little metal tab in the bottom corner there. It's going to line up with this tab here. You're going to press those in together. That'll turn to lock it down. Then you get the threaded collar in the back there to properly lock it into place. As you follow the cord back, you're going to find a standard 50 amp end. Some campsites will have that, some won't. So we do provide you with this adapter here to take that 50 and go down to a 30 amp. Now, most campsites do have that. You can just plug straight on in and you're good to go. And if you're looking to plug in at home to charge your batteries or run your fridge, we do provide you with another adapter to go down to a 15, so you can do so. Right in the back here, you'll see you also have the hitch. So if you're looking to tow the boat around with you or something, you got somewhere to hook it up to. Straight up from there, you'll find your rear view camera. That'll be that pre-mount for it at least. You'd have a camera installed there, and then you can use it as a backup camera or as a rear observation. And then on the right side there, you get your ladder so you can get up top and check all of your seals. Right in the end of the bumper, if you just kind of squeeze that cap together and pull it on out of there, inside of the bumper, we're going to find your sewer hose. So just take note of those two ears in the adapter here. It's how we hook it up to your sewer system. And then the hose itself, once fully extended, is about 20 feet long. We just keep it stored in the bumper back here to help keep any sort of stench out of the unit, keep things a bit fresher, and that cap just presses into place. Kind of right up the corner from there, you're going to find your sewer outlets. You got liquid waste on the left, body waste on the right. Body waste is, of course, going to be your black tank filled from your toilet. Of course, going to be your dirtiest water, so you want to dump that first. Once that's done, you'll then come to the liquid waste. That'll be your gray tank for your bathroom in the back here, as well as your washer and dryer. So you'll open that up and allow that gray tank to drain itself out. The drain outlet is this guy right here, of course. You're just going to kind of press on that cap, give it a turn, pop it on out of there. See, it's got the same ears on it that your sewer hose had. It'll attach the same way. Simple as that. Kind of up from there, we get your hot water tank. So this guy is a tankless feature, so it's just kind of running the water through it. Kind of gives you that hot water on demand. Not really much back there to check for service, but basically you can take that keyway there and pop it on open. Then you have the little power switch up there, so that's just kind of like a full kind of turning everything off. You also have a switch inside and then kind of a temp section down there as well. It is perfectly normal to find some water dripping out of this plug there every now and then. Nothing to be concerned about. Locking it back down with that keyway. Up from there is the vent for your dryer. So of course, if you're ever using your dryer, you just want to make sure it's not blocked off. Right, you will get the air and some lint coming out of there every now and then. Towards the front of the unit, you're going to find your kitchen outlet. The same sort of plug right there. Right, cap just presses in place. Up above it is the gate valve for it. Same as the one that's in the back. Just pulling that open, drains itself out. Straight up from there, you'll find your stove vent. So of course, propane stove is putting off fumes whenever you're using it. So you want to make sure that your fan inside is turned on with that flap open so that we can evacuate those fumes. Exhaust for your furnace here, so if you're ever running your furnace, just make sure it's not blocked off. It does get hot. And then right inside of this compartment here, you're going to find all your water system over on the right side. So first we'll do that light right in the top right. Then you can see right here, we just got everything labeled for your tank systems. Now the two on the bottom there, they do look like they're pointing down. You are just going to be both straight up like that. Same deal. Okay. Bypass for your hot water tanks right down here. So if you're leaving the unit for a while or getting ready to winterize it, you just make sure that water tank is bypassed. If you're looking to install a filter once it comes time, it's just kind of going in right there, just right in line. Up above that, you get your exterior shower, hot and cold water, of course, as well as the 3-foot hose with the standard head. On the top here is your black tank flush. So you may notice over time after having gone and dumped your black tank, your monitor panel is still reading 1/3 or 2/3, whatever it may be. Typically, it's just some debris inside of the tank hanging between the probes. So what you can do is take your water hose and plug it into there, open up that black valve, turn on the water, and that'll just flush out that tank for you. Your water hookup's right underneath it, so your water hose will plug into there, and then you're just turning on the water, and then you're basically just using the orientation of these valves to choose where that water is going. So to fill your tank, you're going to have the one on the left up, and one on the right over to the side. To use it, basically, as kind of like letting your pump draw out of the tank, as well as letting you use water, city water, you can have it up like that, or for just city water, you can have it off to the side, or both straight up. On the right side here, you get a couple of 110 outlets. They are GFI protected, resets just inside the unit. Down underneath it is your cable and satellite inlets. So you can see they are labeled. Coax cables just plug in by your TV location. Then you can also just run all of your cables and hoses and whatever up through there, just so you can keep this compartment closed while you have everything running. Then you're going to find in here that water hose as well as that park adapter I was telling you about. So your 30 amp into there, 15 to a standard outlet. Then on the front wall here, the battery disconnect switch is down the side there. So with it off to the side, that's it turned on. With it pointed up, that's it then turned off. This light switch there does an accent light across the front of the unit. We'll show you that in a minute. And then straight up from there, you got another little service light. For your leveling system, you just get that power button there. It's going to turn it on. Then you press auto level, and that'll automatically level the unit. So as we look underneath, you'll see all the feet will start coming down. It'll start leveling off the unit. Now this does take a minute, and while it's doing so, you just want to stay out of the unit, make sure it's not shaking around, make sure it's perfectly stable. Now once it's done, if we just watch this screen right here, you'll be able to see once it's actually done, it'll say success. There we go. Then once you're done with that, you'll just be pressing the power button to turn it back off. Once you're done and getting ready to pull back out of the campground, you're going to press that power button again, hit the down button. It'll come into auto hitch. Press enter to come into that, and it'll retract all of your legs and then bring your front legs up to whatever we set as your hitch height. That hitch height we can set up once you pick up the unit. And then also, just while you're back there, you'll find that spare tires just kind of mounted right underneath there. Right. And then kind of the last things underneath here, we get your low point drains, which are just kind of right up underneath here. You get a couple of white little caps there. You just unthread those, allows the water system to drain itself out. So this is how you would drain that hot water tank. Now, of course, there is no tank there, but you do have all the lines that run through it. Holds about 2.4 gallons. So you just want to make sure those are opened up, drain all that water out of the tank, especially before winter. Your freshwater tank drain is just this guy right here. Pop that cap out, drains itself out. Those two lines right there, just vents for your freshwater tank. So just waiting on it to get to the hitch height here. It'll give us another little message once it's done. Right, once it is done, just power button there turns it back off. Then we'll turn off these lights. Right in front of this compartment here, you get your propane compartment. So as you open this up, you get your propane tank right there, front and center. Just got that knob right up top. You're going to turn that to open it up. Over on the right side there, you can just see we've got your changeover. So it's currently red with the arrow pointing to the front, which would actually be the other side tank. So basically the red is letting us know we've got no propane. The pointing off to the one side is letting us know we're running off the other side. So we'll turn on that tank. Right, this one we'll just leave as is. Around the front of the unit, you get that one little service light there. Right beside it is a vent for your battery, so just kind of making sure it's not blocked off. Then the storage compartment here, as you open that up, little T-latch holds it open for you. Battery itself is housed inside of this box right here. And you can see you get your motors for your front legs and the controllers for your front living rooms here. If you do ever have an issue with those front slides not coming out, you're going to come here and it'll give you a fault code listed out on that sticker there. Same idea for that box there. Otherwise, just open storage, and then you do get the little service light up there as well. Then around the front of the unit, you'll see those little kind of accent lights across the front. And then on the other end here, we get the other end of your storage compartment, or your propane compartment. So we'll open that up and we'll turn this tank on. Other end of your storage compartment here, so it is just wide open, see straight through to the other side. You do get a little power outlet there, as well as your manual override for your slide outs and your jacks. Then another little service light there. GFI protected outlets. You'll notice on all your clearance lights you have that little mount thing there. That would be for a camera, so kind of a blind spot monitoring. So if you're out towing, you can kind of, as you turn on the turn signal, it'll kind of light up which side you're looking at there. The GFI protected outlet back here, a couple of exterior speakers. They do have little lights inside of them as well that will turn on once we get inside the unit. And lastly, just right in the back here, you've got your exterior compartment that opens up. You get your little fridge in here. It is a 120 volt fridge, so you need to be plugged in for it to be going. Control button for it's straight up in the top. So now we'll make our way inside of the unit. Your assist handle here is just going to pop up, go 90 degrees, and it'll fall into place, and we can open up the door. The door is on a friction hinge, so it just kind of sits wherever you leave it. I will point out though, if you've got it wide open, it contacts your awning arm. So if you're going to be running your awning, you want your door at about 90 degrees or so. For your steps, you're going to pull this knob in towards the center, and then you can pop them on out. These little tabs there, if you're to pull those out, you can extend or retract your legs just based on your campsite needs. As you come inside, first things first, right on the left there, you get your fire extinguisher. That's standard. Pull the pin, point, and shoot. Kind of straight across the wall. From there, we're going to find your monitor panel with all your switches on it. Kind of right down the bottom there, you get that entry light. Does all your living room lights, or your kitchen lights, I guess, technically. Awning light is right beside it. Does a strip underneath your awning light out there. Exterior lights, the switch in the top right there, turns on that little light inside of your exterior speakers. Awning itself is on this bottom right switch. You can press and hold extend, and that awning will make its way out. Again, just watching your door, right? So once that awning is fully extended, we're going to see a little white flap come down as well as the black of the metal tube. Once you see that, you're going to stop. If you're to continue extending, it can actually wind itself up backwards, in which case your fabric would be underneath the tube, allowing it to hold water, accelerating the growth of mold and mildew. There's our flap. There's the tube, so we'll stop right there. Now, if it were to start raining, it's of course going to hold some water anyways. What you're going to do is grab either arm, front, or rear, and just pull straight down on it. Then you can see that changes the pitch of the awning out at the head, allowing water to then run off. Now, a little bit of an exception for this unit, because we've done these slide toppers over top here. This slide topper does contact the awning fabric, so you do not have pitch control with that awning open, so just kind of keep that in mind. Then we'll press and hold retract, and the awning will make its way back in. Again, you're just watching to make sure that your fabric stays over top of the tube. And the last thing to keep in mind with your awning is it does catch a lot of wind. So once you get up to about 10 or 15 kilometers an hour wind, you want to bring it back in. Again, just so you're not running the risk of bending your arms. And then also with how close it sits to the slide topper there, once you get up to, or once you get any form of wind, it's going to start shaking, and you do run the risk of kind of wearing through it over time. So just keep that in mind. There we go. All your slides are just on these bottom switches here, so press and hold the bottom of them and they make their way out. So these two front slides are the same sort of style there. They've got that track that they run on, so once they're out all the way, you'll kind of hear them automatically square themselves, and then they turn themselves off. Just like that. Same thing for the other side there. Now the rest of your slide are kind of the more traditional style. You're gonna press and hold out, and they'll make their way out. Once these slides are fully extended, we're gonna hear some clicks from the motors letting us know they've reached their stall. Once you hear those, we'll stop. Just like that. Bed slide, you can't really see that one just because it is behind the door, of course. And if you've got that door open, you cannot fully close the slide, so you're kind of moving that one blind. Same thing though, once you hear those clicks, we'll let go of the switch. There we go. And then your main slide is going to be the dinette here. All right. So straight up from all your slide out switches, we've got your monitor panel. Up in the top left there is battery. You can see we're currently 12.3. That's a charging voltage, so that's good. Your fresh tank, as you fill that up, will go to 1/3, 2/3, and full. Your black one is going to be for your rear bathroom there, so for the toilet. Your gray one is going to be the bathroom as well, so the 2 sinks as well as a shower and your washer and dryer. Black 2 is just blank in this unit, it is not used. Gray 2 is going to be your kitchen sink, auxiliary is also blank. And DSI fault, that is not going to be used in this unit. You've got the special water heater, which is controlled by this panel down here. So you get your on-off switch on the right side there, you're going to touch that and turn it on. So that 51 degrees centigrade is just letting us know that that's kind of the goal temperature for our water right now. You can adjust that just with a little up and down there. You can also change between reading in Fahrenheit or Celsius, just like that. And then just as you use your water, it'll automatically cycle itself on and off just to make sure that you've got your hot water. Do make sure that you've got your propane turned on though, just because it does work just off of the flame. Once the flame is fired up, you'll get that little light on the right side there, just letting you know it has fired up. Okay. On off, turn it back off again. Power management switch basically just chooses kind of what you're prioritizing for your power sources. So basically right now I believe we're choosing between the air conditioner or the fireplace. Okay. These switches right here, the one on the bottom is going to do your living room lights. The one on the left does your pendant light. The one on top of it does an accent above that pendant. Open storage right here. Inside of here, you're also going to find your tank heater switches. So those are just kind of little sticky pads that go onto all your tanks there, just so that you can kind of turn them on, prevent them from freezing. Yep. G5 protected outlets down here, and then just all the storage down here as well as a little bit of drawer space. And then underneath the drawers, you get your converter. Press it top and center to pop it on open. All of your breakers on the top here. Whenever a breaker breaks, it sits in the middle. So just turn it off and then back on to reset it. All your fuses are on the right side. Whenever a fuse pops, you get a little red LED right beside it, letting you know exactly which one went. Your fridge here is 12 volt. So as long as you're plugged in with your batteries charging, this guy's going for you. So you get your freezer up, or your fridge up top here. And then your 2 freezer drawers down low. I do believe the center one is actually more of like a chiller. So like if you wanted to keep your drinks cool, you can stick them in here. And then the bottom is the actual freezer. Right. As you've seen, the travel straps here, basically just little rubber bands, just kind of prevent it from flying open while you're out traveling. In the island, you get your hot and cold water there, of course. The sink cover is just got the shower head feature on it there as well. Right. These sink covers are made of the same material as your countertops. If you need the extra space, you got it, kind of without limiting yourself by temperature. Big single basin sink, storage underneath it. Now these guys don't have handles on them, they just have the cutouts in the top. Just be mindful of your drains and your water lines in there. Of course, you don't want to be breaking none of that. Then all the drawers on the side, all their cutouts are on the bottom. Microwave here, pretty standard, just like home, just with the addition of kind of that convection feature, as well as your fan and your light. This is that fan that you want turned on with that flap outside opened up, just so we're not collecting fumes inside of the unit. And there's also a light switch over on the side there. Okay. For the stove, just bifold cover flips on back. I'm going to take that knob there over to high, hit it with the igniter, it fires right up. And then for your oven, you're just going to pop that on open, take this knob on the right side there, press it in towards that little pilot light, hit the igniter, and then just right in the back there as it clears all the air of the propane line. See that pilot light get going. There we go. Once you have it going, you just hold that knob for another couple of seconds and you can release and the flame will hold itself. Turn up your desired temperature and she'll fire right up. Once you're done, turn it back down just a pilot. It'll hold just a pilot light for you, but if you're going traveling, you just want to make sure it's right off. That little button on the right side there turns on all your knob lights as well as the oven light. Cabinet right here, as you open that up, it's your garbage. Then just kind of the storage underneath the stove there. Beside your pantry, you get these 2 light switches. The one on the left does this cabinet here. The one on the right is going to do those 2 up top, as well as the one in your pantry here. So you'll notice this one in here is on a motion sensor. So if you open that up, you get some motion. It turns itself on automatically. There is a switch for that. So if you kind of look up right in the back, you can't really see it. But if we have the switch off to the left, that's it then on the dual function, which is going to be your motion sensing. Then if you have it in the center, that's it turned off. If you go off to the right, that's it just turned on. So whenever you have that switch on, it'll turn on. Okay. Simple as that. Storage underneath here. GFI protected outlet. So this is your test and your reset for everything in the back of the unit, I believe. Sorry, in the front of the unit. Underneath that's your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air. Sits on the floor. That guy detects it and starts going off just like your smoke detector would. The smoke detector is right by your entrance, just straight up from the stairs. Right beside it, you can see our pre-wired for Wi-Fi. Then up across the front here, in each slide, you get the little light switch. The two slides are completely identical. You have the switch on the back side, and then you have your couch with the two cushions in the back, which are removable. Pop those out, throw them off to the side, pick up the base here and flip these legs out, up and out. Then that back just folds down, create your bed. You can fold this one out with it as well. You pretty much create one whole big wide bed. Once you're done, flipping up that back again, pick up the foot and fold those legs back in. Falls in half and then just kind of falls into place. Take your cushions and slap them back in there, just held in place with the Velcros. Across the front, you get storage on either side. The TV itself is on a mount, so you get this little strap down here. You're going to pull that down, then you can pull the TV out, kind of point it wherever you like it. Right behind it, you're going to find your power outlet, USB outlet, as well as your antenna outlet. Turning that antenna on is just that little button right beside it. Then up above that is your cable and satellite outlet. Once you're done, just pushing it back into place until it clicks. And that's it then locked into place. Storage on the side here. Same sort of open storage on this side here. Stereo, pretty straightforward. Power button there is going to turn it on. Select to get through all your settings. Mode through all your inlets. And then on the right side there, your volume controls. Zone 1 is the sound bar itself. Zone 2 is your outside set of speakers. Fireplace, power button on the right there turns it on. Center right, you have that back flame color. In the middle, you have the bottom illumination. Center left, you have low and high. And then on the far left is a timer, 30 minutes up to 9 hours. Once you're done, power button there, turn it back off. Like I said, this slide's the exact same. You get the light, the fold-out couch. Then for your recliners here, you just have your little sliders on the outsides. Just pull those up, takes the legs out for you. Then you have heat, as well as a little light, and a massage feature there as well. Little storage bin right in the center there. Okay. The dinette, pretty straightforward. You get your light over on the side there. So you have all your tables there just set up as is. You can take this extension piece, fold that up, and then there's a little rod underneath here. It slides on out, just kind of props it into place. You do also have travel straps down here, so you'd be stacking the two chairs on top of each other, strap them down just so that they're not flying around while you're out traveling. More just open storage back here. And then into the bedroom, or sorry, right up on the wall here, we've got your thermostat. So center power button there. Press and hold to turn it on, or just press it, So zone 1 is going to be your front set. Zone 2 would be your back set. So for zone 1, you can go through all our modes. You can see we're currently in cool right now. We'd select our temperature just with the arrows there. Fan, and you can select your fan speed, so that just reads out in the bottom. A is of course auto, is just going to use whatever is most appropriate. Then you got your 1, 2, and 3 there as well. So if we hit mode after cool, it'll come down into heat. It's going to turn off the air conditioner, turn on your furnace. Furnace is moving its air through all your floor registers. Mode again after heat, comes down into fan. It'll turn on the zone 1 fan and just move some air around. No cooling involved. Just kind of selecting your fan speed, just move some air. Hit mode again after fan, it comes down into dry. So it'll run the low fan with the compressor just to try and get rid of any humidity from the unit. After dry, it comes up into auto. So at this point, it'll just choose whatever's most appropriate to achieve your target temperature. And then just back into cool again. Right? Press the power button there while you're in zone 1. It'll turn off zone 1. Then you can press zone again. It'll come down into zone 2. Press the power button, that'll turn on zone 2, which is your rear set. So you have your back air conditioner now. Again, it just works the exact same. You get your fan speed control there, and your temperature selection. The mode for zone 2 will not come into heat. You can see it skips heat, comes just into fan, dry, so just the air conditioner control program, and you can kind of set everything, just kind of work as you like it. You can select light, select the intensity, and then just sleep to kind of set all of that. Really nice little thermostat here. And mode will come back down into, I'll just leave it in cool, I guess, and turn that zone off. Go back into zone 1, just leave it there. Right through the doorway, and you get your light switch up on the wall. Straight up from there is our CO2 detector. Right, so that's going to go off a couple more times. Open storage here. Right, and just drawer space underneath that. Right. If you pick up the foot of your bed, you do get access to a big storage compartment down there. Inside of here, you're going to find an extra trim that I'd found in the unit, as well as some cabinets there that were in the closet where your washer and dryer has been installed. I've just left those here for you, so if you find somewhere for them to go, or if you need some touch-ups or whatever you need, you got some extra pieces there for yourself. On this side of the slide out, you get two switches. The one on the right is going to do your reading light. The one on the left is going to do that big lights up top. Over on this side here, you get the one switch for the one reading light there. This location here is a TV backer, so you have the power outlet there for it. Open storage on either side. Blinds throughout the unit, you just kind of snap them and they run up. For your emergency exit, you just pull that red tab to get rid of the screen, take this handle here, throw it outside, hop on out. I believe most of the emergency exits in this unit are like that. Drawers on the side. Open cabinet in the middle. And then just closet space over here. Okay. These sliding doors, so you just got that little travel strap, just undo that, and then they just kind of slide together, meet in the center. All right. And once you're done, just making sure they're locked back down. Okay, and then in the bathroom here, your light switch is over on the left side. Right up above it, you get your fan control. Press and hold open to open it up. Once you got it where you like it, you can just turn the fan on. Once you're done, just closing it back off. This light right here is that motion sensing light, similar to what you got in your pantry up front. So from this side here, I can give you a better look at that switch. All right, so you see you get the dual function on the side, that's motion sensing, and then one is just on. Right. Toilet flips on open, you get your flusher on the right side there. Bunch of blank storage here. Toilet paper dispenser right down there. We don't install that just because location is entirely personal preference. Medicine cabinets all the way around. Both sinks are identical, hot and cold water course. Just drain straight down. Storage right underneath them, just being mindful of your drains. GFI protected outlet for the back of the unit, works the same as up front. Test on the left, reset in the center. And then your drawer space here as well. And then in the shower, hot and cold water course, the standard hose with the slightly nicer head there. So you do have kind of the selection between the shower or the massage. And then lastly, it's just going to be your washer and dryer setup. So that just opens on up. You get your washer on the bottom, of course. Pretty straightforward. Just has all the readouts there for you. Right? And then the dryer, again, straightforward. The lint trap comes in half. Simple as that. Right? All right, well, that's about it for this unit. If you've got any other questions on it, please feel free to give us a call, 204-237-7272.